Hi, today I'm going to be talking about the abortion crisis in America and how it is affecting our society and both sides of the argument. I'm going to start out by talking about the pro-choice or pro-abortion side. And I'm going to begin with a court case that kind of started the whole abortion issue. It started in 1973 when a court case called Roe v. Wade went to the Supreme Court and was there ruled constitutional to be able to have abortions in some cases. And from that, since then, there have been roughly 25 million abortions in the United States. Now, the reasons backing up abortions are different, obviously, from the other side, and they are that a woman should be able to choose what goes on in her body, and she should have the right to make decisions that go on in her body, essentially. And a quote that I found says, "A woman cannot be equal if she is denied the basic right to make decisions for herself and her family." Now, I believe that a woman should be able to make that choice what goes on in her body, but I definitely think that there needs to be a boundary line there. And I think that once you make the decision to have a baby and to conceive, that it's not your right anymore. Once you have another human that is involved in your decisions and what you've done, I don't believe you should be able to choose. Now, there's a few exceptions. I think that rape and incest, and if the mother's health would be in danger, I think those can all be assessed in their own way, but I think generally, in a normal case where a woman just doesn't want to have a child, that I think that the woman shouldn't be able to choose if she has messed up and if she doesn't want the child anymore. So on the side of pro-life, I'm going to share a few reasons why I think that abortion should not be an option. The first one, there are many steps made towards an abortion. So the woman chooses to take the steps to have a baby, and I think the woman decides, once she's decided that she wants to do that it shouldn't be in her hands anymore. I think that she's made her decision, and if she wants to risk that's a consequence of her actions, and I don't think that she should be able to choose what goes on after that, because it's not her life that she's taking. For number two, I believe that once the egg is fertilized and it starts growing, I believe that it is a human life. Now, this is pretty hard. It's thrown up in the air because people don't think that life starts at a certain time and others do, but I think that for a lot of Christians or just mostly people of religion, think that once the child is conceived, that it's a child and it is a life. And especially when a heart is beating and you can hear a heartbeat and you realize that, wow, it really is a living thing. It's kind of amazing that someone that little can be alive, but it's also so sad that some people just can disregard that and just take their lives like that because they don't feel like they can take care of it, or they've messed up or whatever. And so I think that once the baby has started to grow, I believe that you can't take that back and you can't reverse that. Number three, I think once you have aborted a child, you're taking that child's rights away. Now, like I said earlier, I think the woman should have rights, but once someone else is involved, I believe that is the baby's rights, and every human has a right, and whether that human is a tiny little sunflower seed or whatever size they are, I think that they should be able to have as many rights as we do. And I think that that's kind of what people look past, is it's a woman's right, but it's also a child's right. And when people look past that, it leads to worse things, such as late-term abortion, which is third trimester abortion. Weeks before a child is born, you can still abort in some states, which is pretty sad because they're basically all the way formed. And so that's been something, once you start off that ladder, it kind of leads to other things. I'm going to share some statistics with you in the past years of abortions that have happened in the United States. In 2014, 926,000 abortions were abortions happened in the United States, and that is according to NBC News. In 2017, 862,000 abortions took place. To put that in perspective, 289,000 people have died from COVID this year. And people just aren't talking about the numbers of abortions, and so I think that abortion should be terminated and that people shouldn't be able to choose to take a human life, and it should be a choice that a baby is given. So thank you.